everyone, and welcome back to Algodoo. And yeah, this time we are going to do something with the stopwatch we created last time. And actually, I changed the stopping and starting mechanism here while off camera, because it was a little bit difficult to get it working properly. But now I think it's okay. So I changed this to a friction bar because otherwise I couldn't stop the clock precisely. It would always lock only between the teeth and not in the moment you start or stop it. And at the moment you can stop it with this mechanism here and start it again by rolling again bouncing another object against it. So it's actually very simple. This, unfortunately, I cannot probably pull this object here. I have no idea why. It won't allow me to drag it. Probably I can only drag it from the middle. But you can see, well, it somewhat works to pull this. Yeah, the shape here simply, well, I can probably show this better, yeah, this way. So now it snaps back, but as soon as it's at the topmost point, it snaps into the other direction, and the spring is simply not attached into the center. That's why the distance here changes a little bit, and it's either connected or floating. And the friction is just set to a high value. That's why you can start the clock and stop it. Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Working perfectly. Yeah, so you have to lower the friction and the restitution of those blocks, otherwise it can get stuck in the center here. But as you can see, the friction is so low that it always snaps into one of the points here, only when I'm trying to directly. Yeah, whatever, it works perfectly. So now I'm going to add a race car, and yeah, as you can see, that's why I needed the stopwatch here. So let's first of all make enough space to build one, and the dimensions of the car should be around a real car. So let's say the tires, well, this is somewhat fitting. Yeah, it's not too bad. Don't have to be super precise. And I maybe should stop the whole scene before I try to build something here. Yeah, and don't blame me for my super awesome building skills here. Okay, let's see. Okay, we could actually leave this for now. And first of all, concentrate on how the car should actually work. So what I would say, we add, yeah, let's make those a little bit larger. Whatever. We add some suspension to it. That means, oh, well, that was not intended. The simplest suspension I can think of is what also a little bit sucks a little bit about this program is that you select something when you release the mouse button, not when you click on it. So if I'm clicking on this, go to the side, it's still the axle which is connected. I have to click and release it, and that's why I'm also misclicking so often here. So for creating, I always make them transparent so I can see what's behind, and they should be in the foreground. Okay, and center axle. I hope that, yeah, this is mounted on the bar here. Those two bars should, with a triple click you can select similar objects, so I can just triple click and that's working. Yeah, don't need a collision layer, otherwise we're gonna have a problem. And now, woohoo, something like this. Let's see what happens. Okay, those strings are apparently not strong enough yet. It starts to lift here. Yep. Okay, we need more damping here, and the springs are still too weak. So let's say 3000. Not quite. This is gonna be a funky car. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is yeah, this is lowrider suspension here. Woohoo. Yeah, I will make it a little bit stronger, but I like this bumperness here. That's crazy. Okay, and the tires. So I can also do the middle click again. Appearance, no material. So what do we need? We need a lot of grip and low bounciness, and I think the density is fine. So the spring here. Let's make them twice as strong, but the damping very low, so that it's... Okay, so this... Let's test. I'm not sure about this. Maybe I should test how it works with a higher damping. Whoa. Like this. Yeah, I think this is pretty good suspension. I could also try an even higher damping gear just for testing. Now it acts like a real car. Yeah, whatever. We can make let's actually just make two copies of this. One is the bounty car, and one will be... no. Oh wait, let's make this one red and the other one blue. So the blue car will be the bouncy one. Da-da. Where are the springs, by the way? For some reason it didn't copy them. So I'm gonna copy this car again. It makes no sense. So this one will have a damping of 1 and springs which are a little bit weaker. Yeah, so... okay, those are just too weak, but the low damping is fine. And it won't let me select the springs. Sometimes this program is buggy as hell. So comparison, last but not least. Bouncy car. Good car. Perfect. This one we need back wheel drive. Let's see. I'm not sure about the torque yet. Let's just try this out and make the camera follow this. Follow. Apparently... Shit. Apparently I'm triggering this twice and the torque is so low that I can barely move at all, so that's not enough. I should probably first of all add a floor here. Later on I have a special idea what to do here. Let me quickly test a little bit with the car and I will be back. Okay guys, so welcome back, and this is way ahead in the future. I was messing around so much with this car and trying to pimp it. Well, I spent several hours trying to implement different motors into it and actually just spent a lot of time on it. It wasn't being raced, but well, whatever. Now I am back here and let me quickly explain you what I did meanwhile and what I'm trying to do now. So, as we can see here, there seems to be, first of all, this graph. This shows the rotational speed of the motor here, and this is a new motor I implemented. So it's pretty much the same principle. Those springs here have a negative damping value, but as you can see it's 4 of them, and for the friction I don't use the bar as in the other motor, in the original one, which slowly goes outward, but instead those circles, because as you can see they are attached with springs. This doesn't have the problem that they can eventually get out of this piston aligning block which I built there. So this is much more fail-proof, and also the motor is much stronger, and I was trying to build a stronger and stronger one. It's really difficult to make those motors really powerful, because you cannot go with the speed, you cannot pretty much go above 100 reds per second here, because if you increase the motor speed to above, the axle won't be stable anymore. And on the other hand, to increase the force of the springs, I have to increase the air friction. But when I increase the air friction of those blockers, I will as well increase the air friction of the total car. So this will obviously make it slower as well. So I was trying around pretty long, and well, now I got a somewhat decent car here. It's not too fast, but it is pretty cool and it makes a lot of fun. It's more like a trial car, not a speed race car, but maybe I will get a better motor, or you can also try to build a motor of the springs and send it to me if you want to. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so this motor here is, well, it's pretty cool. I've implemented some kind of a clutch here, so you can see with this axle here I can rotate the whole thing here where it is mounted on, and there's this spring here, so I can slowly apply power here. I also got a brake. The brake is simply a manual brake. What I wanted to have a motor in here, so I decided to make this fancy version here. So let's try and see what happens here. So I can also maybe add the speed of the car here as well. Let's put both in the top, so we have more space below to watch. And so what I'm going to do now is slowly this is also a problem, that you have to go fast above over the starting pad, otherwise you will bump against the other part coming upwards. Follow. And so you can see that this did more or less fail, whatever. Let's stop it again. So I'm disengaged the clutch now. Now I have a starting button. It's just simple, a small motor here inside, which will, when I press it for long enough, give this thing enough speed to start. As you can see, now the motor is running. So if I'm now just letting the clutch, well, how you say, snap back, it will pretty much almost stall and just slowly accelerate. Let's just quickly see what the engine speed here says. I will just make this and rump. It instantly goes down, and now both rails are connected and it slowly accelerates, as we can see. So. And also this grid here is a very helpful tip. One of the comment said it, really makes building so much easier that the objects snap to a rectangular grid. The top speed of this thing is only a little bit of 10 meters per second. That's what I was telling. So this is like a good 100 meter sprinter, not a really car. It's like 40 kilometers per hour or so. So let's stop it again. And just for comparison, I can also try to slowly let the clutch come. The highest torque is between 60 and 70 revs per second, but it's actually helpful to keep it a little bit above, because if you go below 60, it will suddenly almost stall again. So it's not too easy to launch this car quickly, but it is possible. So let's try it again. First of all, we have to start the motor again, and now slowly let the clutch come. Let's see if we can do it. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the engine speed here and not to let it drop below 70. Oh. But you could see the difference. Maybe that's well, I can actually compare those two rides here. So and this one, we at the beginning had a very high acceleration when the clutch when I just let the clutch snap, and then it was very low, as you see here, around 0.38 meters per second. Well, in this case, we maintain a pretty high acceleration. Well, this was just my fault. I was too stupid to accelerate properly. But in overall, we reached the speed quicker. You can see this is less time. The overall, how do you call this? Well, the overall time is just shorter, whatever. And yeah, I like it. It's like a real car. You can, so to accelerate quickly, you have to manage the clutch properly. So whatever, let's get back and try to build a racetrack with this car here. For this, I think I have a pretty cool idea. Okay, so, oh, what the fuck, I guess. Yeah, the follow track rotation was enabled. So, yeah, and you can already see it here. I will, because first of all, the motor doesn't have a backwards gear, but that's not a real problem. The only thing is, if I want to use this stopwatch here, I have to somehow get back to the start. And since we are in 2 dimension, I can't just make a round course. But what I can do is let the car drive on a planet. Yep, so this will be pretty crazy. So first of all, this planet here will deactivate the normal gravitation. Then this one will get an attraction. We'll later on see how high this has to be. And now I really hope that this will work. And I'll try something really fancy. So what I need for this is a second planet in the middle here. So the center is over here, which is a little bit smaller. You will soon see why I need this. So I already marked this, that the collision layer I is not checked, but all other collision layers are checked. And this one will have collision layer I. So we'll also attach it to the other circle. So the point is that objects only get attracted by other objects if they have the same collision layer. So obviously, if I would just make the car go around this planet here, I would have the problem that the camera doesn't follow properly. And I can select this follow track rotation, but for a quick demonstration, this is not what we want, because if we bump, this totally makes you go crazy. You cannot steer a car which directly is rigidly mounted to this gravitation. We want to have a camera which is always facing towards the center of this planet here, and not which is following the car's rotation. So that's what I'm trying to do. Let's first of all disable this here again. And car should be exactly in the middle. Okay, just like this. Now let's get started. And now you can see the advantage of building with this grid line here. Because I can exactly have all those springs being mounted with the same length. So what we have here is this box here is now mounted to the car, and this one will exactly get the collision layer. No, this one actually will get no collision layer at all. Now we need two weights here. Oops. Yeah, every time the same problem. Once it's selected, you cannot place something in it anymore. Which are exactly at the opposite sides. Let's mount them. So, collision layer. This one is, no, this is the background. This one will have A. This one will have I. Actually, so we'll have no collision layer. So what we did now is we created something which we mounted exactly in the center of mass. So let's just try out if this worked as intended. Oh yeah, I rotated it a little bit, unfortunately. Collision layer I, yep. But now yep. Also adding an air friction multiplier here to decrease this swinging. So yeah, now this circle here is being attracted towards the center while the other one is not. What we can do now is first of all stop the scene and because otherwise the camera will be rotated once we start this. Let the camera follow this object here. Selection, follow, and track rotation. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, we are following the car here, and the best part is actually, let me select those springs here. Why do they have a different spring constant? Okay, so we are ready to go. This is following the car, but at the same time we have those springs here, and I managed to wreck some of them, which make it gives it a very cool camera shaky action cam effect. So let me just bounce against this, and you can see how the camera reacts like, don't know. Well, let's just try to directly launch. Oh, currently the motor is for some reason rotating in the wrong direction. I can fix this. Okay, let's go. Whatever, I installed another backup motor at the front here, and obviously I crashed. So the idea is that we get this shaky camera which bounces a little bit, but at the same time always follows the rotation of the wheel, and I'm trying to get this. Come on, get down again. So I installed just a backup motor here for testing. I will later remove remove that or not. Backup motor, just testing motor. So we can see, yep, we are indeed following the rotation of the planet here, but the car rotates independently, so I can let the car here rotate, and this works as the perfect action cam for this ride here. Awesome. So this part is done. Now we can actually put the clock here on the planet, and as well build a track up here.